we are.
We're live.
We're live. I think we're both still sleeping.
I think
This is supposed to be a Q&A session. So my first question to you is, what time did you wake up? Because we have this thing all the time.
So I woke up just after 2 this morning.
I was 2 o'clock.
It's too early.
Well, I tried to sleep, but that wasn't happening.
I got up and I actually did some reading, and then I thought, man, if I could just sleep a little. Anyways, I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I turned my coffee maker on, and I had coffee at 4.
Perfect. Perfect. And the other thing I want to make a comment on is your hairstyle.
Oh, yeah.
This is a new style for you, I think. It's a little tighter, a little shorter. Brings about 10 years off you.
That's well, if I hadn't known that, I would have done it sooner. Well, as you know, I used to always have really long hair, right?
Yes.
And,
you were a bit of a hair farmer back in the day.
That was so. When I retired, I took my watch off, and I just let my hair grow. It was like, I thought, oh man, I spent a lot of time, grooming. That's right.
Reminds me of, what was that? I can't believe it's not butter.
So smooth.
So silky. Yeah. All right. Well, nobody wants to listen to us kind of go on about your hair. So this is the Q&A session. And we had, I think, a buddy of yours put a comment. So we'll get to that one.
Okay.
But let's start out. We said on our first video that we didn't want to start out too aggressive.
Right. Good.
So I did my planning appropriatly.
Good.
And we're not going to do that.
Bill's is aggressive enough. So
it is. Okay. So we'll maybe end with that one.
Okay.
But let's start out with this one. And there's a lot of them. Okay. So just give me like the top 3 most common hurdles when you're building a home that will delay a build.
Okay. So in the Calgary area, we're out in Strathmore right now, but in the Calgary area, weather is a huge thing.
We just had that.
And it doesn't take much, but we can have like a snowstorm come on, and man, everything's wet and it melts and it's drippy. So weather is a huge thing for us. 2 is this one's interesting, but oftentimes customers can be a huge delay. Well, because we need specific answers before we can proceed.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes people don't understand, well, why do I need to know what my plumbing is? Mm-hmm. We're not even framing yet. So we need to order.
Yes.
We also have to put the actual plumbing in the walls.
Right.
We have to know what tub you're putting in so we can put the drain.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers there.
There's a lot of layers. So customers can slow things down. So what we try to do is we have a list for them. That we would like you to decide on before we start digging. And
so if I was to cut to the punchline on that, would the word be clarity is king?
Clarity's king. Yeah. And I mean, look, I can't blame everything on the customer because, sometimes we're trying to be gentle.
Sure.
You don't want to be...
Well, we're trying to be helpful.
We want to be helpful.
And there's lots of decisions, and those can be challenging.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure. For the client.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyways, but that's another one.
Okay.
Number 3 can be material.
Okay. Yeah.
So and trades. Trades and material are kind of close to the same, especially framing. So if let's say you've got two framing crews, and you have a couple other crews that you can bring in. That's great, but timing,
Are you talking like one guy sleeps in?
Yeah.
The other guy is on time, but then it's like, well, wait a second, we need that guy too, or how to?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Well, that's kind of it. But also, what I mean is, you have two specific crews that do work, and they're like usually 4-man crews,
right?
And then you have another crew that works for you sometime,
right? Sure.
And so if everything lines up, it's fine. But man, you can have a time where, oh man, I just started this, Scott. I can't come till,
Right.
So
Okay, well, there's three. I mean, there's a pile of them, and we'll probably talk about more down the road at some point. Here's another one. What should people do to get the best experience, or have the best experience out of this whole home building process?
Well, from my perspective, it should be fun.
Yeah,
that's I used to see people get so wound up about stuff, and so my thing was always, look, you guys, you're building something that you're going to be living in.
Yeah.
Like, this should be a fun process.
Totally.
I know that you could have where you got a couple.
Yeah.
And one wants something, the other wants something else, and they're butting heads, and then they want to try and involve us.
Yes. Right.
What do you think? Well, our job is not to think about what you want. Our job is to give you what you want.
Right.
So, red's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, blue's great.
Yeah.
But you guys have to decide, because I can only put one on one wall.
Would I be correct in saying this almost circles back again to clarity? To have the best experience?
Yeah. Clarity is another.
This seems to
it seems to be another.
It's a reoccurring theme here.
It's a reoccurring
this whole clarity thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's one idea.
Yes.
Let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
And here's one for you.
Okay.
That I came up with.
All right.
So,
no.
There's.
Or I mean, yes.
So there's this, people say, well, as you get older, people are like fine wine. The older you get, the better you get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So have you found that the older you get, the better builder you are?
Well, one thing that is for sure, as I've gotten older, I have a lot more control over how, I potentially speak to some of the trades.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I am getting a little better, or at least they think so.
Well, so instead of it being an age thing, we're going to say it's an experience thing.
It's an experience thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I used to be very much driving all the time. And I found out that that's not the ideal way to build.
Right. So you basically, you didn't say that you get better like a fine wine. Yeah. You just said that you have more experience. So people respect you more.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was a delicious wine as a youngster too.
A little young, maybe lacking some flavor, not as complex.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
Whole thing? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, here's another one before we get to your buddy's his big question.
Okay.
So I've noticed 3 porta potties.
Yes.
Within the community, which of course are to be used by the builders, the trades, that kind of stuff. What is your recommended cleaning schedule for those porta potties?
Well, certainly there's one that should be cleaned more regularly.
Well, this is why I'm bringing it up, because
I've mentioned it a couple of times. So, as you know, we had our own porta potty.
Yeah.
And then what happened is nobody had a porta potty.
Right.
So my cleaning schedule ended up being every other day.
Right.
Right. And so finally the developer decided that they'd put 3 around the community. But yeah, I get it, man.
I mean, we're trying to enhance the overall experience in general. So that was one I
guess, I don't know if this is something that people may want to hear, but we had a huge windstorm out there, and one of the porta potties tipped over. So the cleaning schedule should have been moved up
and
on
we
that.
ran the other direction when that happened.
We were not involved in that.
Okay, good answer. Okay. So, all right, let me see if I can find this here. Here it is. Here's the comment. This is from
Bill Dura.
Bill Dura. Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, let's see. Where's his original comment here?
I think he was asking about punch card.
Yeah, so he says, Scott, can you address punch lists? How do you manage that process?
All right. So that's an excellent question. And Bill actually was a builder for years. He's retired now.
Right. So this is builder to builder here.
Yeah, builder to builder, and he built in Maui is where when I met him and knew him.
Right.
And he's since moved off island.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so
first explain what that is.
yeah. So punch list. So we don't use that term anymore. And I'll just kind of explain what it is. So it's basically how you address deficiencies and like extras or things that are in the contract that are now different, whether it's positive or negative.
Right.
So in Canada, we have seasonal deficiencies, which in Maui you may not have.
Right.
So, for instance, like let's just say your driveway's not complete, or the stonework isn't complete, exterior stuff. So we have some exterior things that we have as a deficiency list.
Yeah.
We're also so what we do is we put that on the deficiencies, and there's a holdback.
Okay.
And so the holdback is so that if you don't do it, they can hire somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
But we're actually a national home warranty builder.
We are.
So we're guaranteed somebody's going to look after the process if something happened to our company.
Sure. Yeah.
But we have what's called a deficiency list, and that addresses all kinds of things. And normally we walk through with the customer about a week, 2 weeks before possession. And we go through each room and we have a look at the deficiencies. So marks on the actual paint is the biggest
And there's always something.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Well, because of course, what we see as a deficiency, or what the customer sees, may be two different things.
Yeah.
And something may be acceptable and something may not be.
For sure.
But generally, if the customer's not happy, we address it. So what we do first is, before we go through with the customer, is we go through the house to look at deficiencies. So little things like you could have the soffit dented in the exterior. Somebody's carrying something out. So we try to address as many items as we can before
that
possession.
walkthrough.
Before the walkthrough first. And then if at all possible, we like to have everything done before they take possession. Now we also come back, so after they live there for 30 days, we do another walkthrough with them because they may have found something.
Right.
So anyways, that's how we handle that kind of deficiencies.
That's good. Yeah.
The final thing though before is extras. And and we have something that's outside the purview of the contract. We have an extras list. And the customer has to pay for those extras before they're completed because it's not in the contract.
Right.
So
this is where the paperwork comes in.
This is the paperwork thing,
But Scott, you said you were going to pay for all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
That's just so nice of you.
Yeah. I am a generous soul. However,
maybe not that generous.
Maybe not that generous. So really those are basically what Bill's talking about. And so we do have systems in place. And Yeah.
And it's for everybody's benefit.
for
so everybody's
benefit.
clear what's going on.
Yeah.
What are the extras? What are the costs behind that? Who's responsible for the cost of those extras? Who's going to pay for that, essentially?
Right. And well, one other thing.
Yeah.
With National Home Warranty, we have inspections.
Right.
And so at the end, just before possession, they come and inspect too.
Yeah.
And they point out things that they would like us to fix.
Yeah.
So customer and ourselves, we go through the list, we check off things in each room.
Yep.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, please address.
Yeah.
And that also goes in, that form goes into National Home Warranty, and then your warranty starts.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
there you go.
Thorough, very thorough process.
It's a thorough process. Yeah. So.
Well, I think I'm tired after all that.
Me too.
That's enough for one day. That's
Exhausted.
5 questions. So
I hope, Bill, that I answered your question. But if I didn't, clarify what else.
Put another question below.
Put another question below.
Drop it in there. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
And don't forget that.
And share this with somebody who could benefit from this information. So put the questions below. Thanks for putting them down there. Any final comments?
No, thanks, Mason. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate your question.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
I know green's your favorite color.
Green's my favorite color, man.
All right. We'll see you next time.
See ya.